Have you ever wondered why some people walk into a room and everything seems to shift? Why the air becomes sharper, the silence becomes louder, and even those who walk with the shadows hesitate to come closer? What if I told you that one of the most underestimated signs of the zodiac holds a secret so profound that even witches, yes, even the ones who whisper in the dark, keep their distance? Stay with me, because in the next moments you will discover truths that most never dare to speak, and once you hear them, you will never look at Virgo the same way again. Virgo, the sign of precision, the guardian of sacred order, the healer disguised in human form. To many, Virgo looks modest, gentle, perhaps even too quiet to command respect. But that is only what the untrained eye perceives. Behind the soft voice, behind the steady gaze, behind the delicate aura, lives a force that terrifies even the most seasoned practitioners of the mystical arts. Not because Virgo raises their voice, not because they wield chaos, but because Virgo carries a truth so sharp that it cuts through every illusion. Imagine this, a figure who does not need to shout in order to be heard, a presence that does not need to fight in order to be victorious. Virgo is not the storm that comes and goes. Virgo is the mountain that remains. And when witches who thrive in the cracks of human weakness cross paths with this sign, they sense something unmovable, something incorruptible, something they cannot bend. This is where fear is born. Not the kind of fear that comes from danger, but the fear that comes from facing truth that cannot be denied. In this journey, we will open the hidden book of Virgo. We will unfold the 7 sacred reasons why even witches, the ones who dance with shadows, fear to cross their way. Reason after reason, layer after layer, you will see how Virgo is not only powerful, but untouchable. And as you listen, I want you to notice something inside yourself. If you are Virgo, you may feel chills down your spine, because these words will awaken something that has always been there. If you love a Virgo, you will finally understand the depth of what you have always sensed. And if you have ever felt the silent power of this sign, type in the comments, "I recognize myself." This is not entertainment, this is revelation. This is not about astrology as a game. This is about the spiritual reality that lives behind the symbol of Virgo. Because every sign carries an archetype, but Virgo carries a mystery. And tonight, we will not only talk about it, we will walk through it, together, step by step, until the veil of fear, respect, and awe is lifted. So breathe deeply, center your heart, and open your spirit. The journey begins now. Before we dive into the first reason, pause for a moment and ask yourself, have you ever met someone whose silence spoke louder than words? Have you ever looked into the eyes of a person who seemed to read every hidden part of you, even the parts you tried to protect? That energy is the energy of Virgo. And once you understand it, you will see why even witches fear to cross their path. Reason 1. The X-ray vision of the soul. Let us begin with the very first reason witches fear Virgo. It is the gift of vision, not vision with the eyes, but vision with the spirit. Virgo carries what I call the X-ray sight of the soul. This is not about seeing what is obvious. This is about seeing what is hidden. It is about hearing what is not spoken, about feeling what no one dares to confess. Virgo can look into someone's eyes and notice the tremor beneath the smile. They can listen Paro's pauses between words and know if there is truth or if there is deception. They can enter a room and instantly feel where the energy is heavy, where the secrets are buried, and where the light is trying to break free. This is not learned, it is innate. It is a natural alignment with the vibration of truth. Imagine a witch who survives by weaving illusions. They cloak themselves in charm, they twist words, they manipulate perception. Now imagine standing before Virgo. The veil of illusion does not last. Because Virgo does not just hear words, they hear frequencies. They do not just watch gestures, they watch intentions. They do not just see the face, they see the soul behind the face. That is why witches hesitate. Because how can one who thrives in shadow endure the gaze of one who carries a light that exposes everything? It is like holding up a fragile mask in front of a blazing sunday. The mask dissolves, the trick collapses, and only the truth remains. And for those who cannot face the truth, Virgo becomes their deepest fear. Virgo is not loud about this power. They do not need to shout their insights. They do not need to boast about their intuition. They carry it in silence, and it is that very silence that makes their gift even more unsettling. To know that someone sees you, fully and without disguise, is both liberating and terrifying. That is the first reason. Virgo sees through the unseen, and nothing can hide from them. Reason 2. The guardian of sacred order. The second reason witches fear Virgo is their relationship with order. Not the order of rules written on paper, but the sacred order of the universe itself. Virgo carries within their spirit the blueprint of harmony. They can walk into chaos and instinctively begin to arrange, to align, to heal. They restore what has been broken, and they clear what has been corrupted. Think of a temple where candles have been scattered, incense has burned out, and dust has settled on the altar. Virgo enters, and without even being told, they know where everything belongs. They light the candles again. They sweep away the ashes. They purify the space. But they do this not only in rooms, they do this in lives, in relationships, in hearts. They are guardians of alignment, priests and priestesses of balance. Witches who thrive in disorder, who find power in confusion, who slip through the cracks of chaos, cannot endure the presence of Virgo, because Virgo seals the cracks. Virgo restores the flow of energy where there was blockage. Virgo builds walls of clarity where there was distortion. Darkness cannot manipulate where harmony has been restored. It is said that some spirits lose their strength when faced with fire, others when faced with water. But for witches who walk in shadow, the force they fear most is order. And Virgo embodies that force with every action, with every choice, with every detail they arrange. This is not about perfection for vanity. This is about perfection as a mirror of the divine order of the cosmos. When Virgo puts something into place, they are echoing the rhythm of the stars, the natural law of the universe, the sacred heartbeat of creation itself. And it is that alignment that makes them unshakable. Because what is aligned with divine order cannot be broken by shadow. That is the second reason witches fear Virgo. They are not simply organizers of life. They are guardians of sacred order itself. Reason 3. The power of silence. There is a kind of power that does not need sound, that does not need noise, that does not need a display of force. It is the power of silence. And this is the third reason witches fear Virgo. Because Virgo's silence is not emptiness, it is a force, an energy that speaks louder than many voices combined. When Virgo chooses silence, it is never weakness. It is observation. It is calculation. It is discernment. They listen Paras whispers others ignore. They see Paras gestures others overlook. They feel Paros vibrations in the room that most cannot even sense. And when the time comes, when they decide to speak, every word falls like a sword cutting through confusion, sharp and undeniable. That silence makes people uneasy, because in silence you cannot hide. In silence, your own soul begins to echo back Paros you. A witch who depends on illusion, who lives by weaving stories and bending truth, does not know what to do with Virgo's silence. They cannot manipulate it. They cannot twist it. They cannot escape it. Because silence has a mirror quality, and when you stand before Virgo in silence, you are forced to meet yourself. That is why their silence is feared. It reveals what was hidden without a single accusation. It convicts without condemnation. It illuminates without confrontation. This silence becomes the unseen weapon, more powerful than shouts or spells. It is the silence that makes the liar tremble, the guilty shift in their seat, the manipulator falter. Virgo does not have to raise their voice to expose the truth. Their silence does it for them. And so, witches fear this silence, because in the presence of Virgo, there is no escape from oneself. They sense that Virgo will not fight them in the way others do. Virgo will wait, watch, and let their own darkness betray them. That is the power of silence, the third reason Virgo is feared. Reason 4. The alchemist of pain. The fourth reason witches fear Virgo is their ability to transform pain. Most people break under suffering. They collapse under betrayal. They drown in loss. They are crushed by disappointment. But Virgo is different. Virgo does not simply endure pain. They transmute it. They take the raw metal of suffering and refine it into the gold of wisdom. This alchemy is a spiritual force. Imagine a fire that does not destroy, but purifies. Imagine a storm that does not scatter, but cleanses. This is Virgo's gift. They walk through trials, through heartbreak, through nights of loneliness, and they do not come out weaker. They come out stronger, wiser, sharper, more compassionate. They carry the scars not as wounds, but as sacred symbols of survival and transformation. This is why they are feared. Because how do you curse someone who turns curses into blessings? How do you wound someone who can turn wounds into medicine? To witches who rely on breaking the spirit, Virgo is untouchable. They can send pain, but Virgo will not be consumed by it. Virgo will study it, embrace it, and convert it into strength. They can try to bring despair, but Virgo will transform despair into clarity. They can attempt to weaken, but Virgo will emerge unshakable. That resilience, that alchemy, is terrifying for those who seek control, because it means Virgo cannot truly be defeated. Virgo is the alchemist who walks through darkness and comes back carrying light. They are the healer who takes poison and extracts the cure. And that is why witches fear them so deeply. Because Virgo's relationship with pain makes them immortal in spirit. Pain does not end them. Pain renews them, and that renewal is more frightening than any weapon. Virgo's path is not easy, but it is powerful. Every trial has been a teacher, every wound a guide, every heartbreak a key that opened another level of wisdom. And through this process, Virgo has become someone who cannot be undone. This is the fourth reason, and it is one of the strongest of all. The alchemist of pain, the one who takes what was meant to destroy and turns it into eternal strength. Reason 5. The shield of purity. The fifth reason witches fear Virgo is because Virgo carries a shield that cannot be seen with the eyes but can be felt in the spirit. This shield is purity. And when I say purity, I do not mean the illusion of perfection, nor do I speak of morality chained by rigid rules. I speak of frequency. Virgo vibrates at a frequency so high, so clear, that energies of distortion cannot hold on to them. It is as if Virgo's aura becomes a field of light where shadows cannot take root. They may try, they may whisper, they may tempt, but the vibration of Virgo pushes them away. Their energy acts like a sacred filter, removing what is false, protecting what is real. This purity makes witches tremble, because it is like trying to swim in a river of crystal water when your essence is made of smoke. The smoke dissolves, the shadow disappears. Virgo's presence alone purifies the space they inhabit. Think of purity as resonance. Virgo resonates with truth, with clarity, with integrity. Even in their flaws, they seek honesty. Even in their mistakes, they seek alignment. And that resonance is what builds their shield. They do not need to constantly fight battles with words or with gestures, because their frequency fights for them. Darkness cannot stay where light is consistent. Confusion cannot stay where clarity flows. Witches sense this, and they fear it because their very craft depends on distortion, and distortion cannot survive in the presence of purity. Reason 6. The Cosmic Librarian. The sixth reason witches fear Virgo is their endless library of wisdom. Virgo is the librarian of the cosmos. Every detail they notice, every lesson they collect, every fragment of knowledge they hold becomes part of a vast archive within their mind and their soul. They carry ancient codes, ancestral wisdom, spiritual memory. They gather, they observe, they remember, and when the right moment arrives, they bring out the exact truth needed. This makes them feel uncanny, paras those who thrive in secrecy. Because how does Virgo always seem to know? How do they predict outcomes? How do they recall details that others have forgotten? It is because Virgo is always collecting. Every conversation, every experience, every pattern is placed carefully on the shelves of their inner library. And when the world is in confusion, Virgo calmly pulls down the exact scroll that brings clarity. For witches, this is unsettling. It feels as if Virgo can read their spell before it is spoken. It feels as if Virgo knows their move before it is made. And perhaps they do, because Virgo's memory and perception act like prophecy. They are not only rooted in the present, they are connected paras threads of past and future. To those who manipulate, this is unbearable. Because how do you outsmart someone who already holds the map of the maze you are trying to build? Virgo is the librarian who holds the key paras library of truth, and that key terrifies the ones who live by deception. Reason 7. The Unyielding Spirit. The seventh and final reason witches fear Virgo is the most powerful of all. It is the unyielding spirit. Virgo bends but does not break. They adapt but never lose their essence. They may sacrifice, they may struggle, they may fall, but they rise again every time. Their resilience is unmatched. And to those who seek to control or destroy, resilience is the ultimate enemy. Virgo does not collapse under pressure. They transform under pressure. They do not surrender their soul. They refine it. They may walk through storms, yet when the storm passes, Virgo is still standing. Their spirit is built upon truth, and truth cannot be destroyed. Witches fear this, because no matter how much energy they send, no matter how much shadow they try to cast, Virgo returns stronger. To break Virgo, one would first need to break the eternal laws of truth itself, and that no witch can ever do. This unyielding spirit makes Virgo a mountain in the face of the storm. They may be challenged, they may be tested, they may be pushed Parao's very edges of their endurance, but they will not be broken. This terrifies the ones who live from manipulation, because power can control many things, but it cannot control a soul that refuses to surrender. That is Virgo's secret. Their resilience, their unyielding nature, their eternal alignment with truth. And that is the seventh reason why witches fear Virgo more than any other sign. As we reach the end of this journey, I invite you to take a deep breath and truly feel what has been revealed tonight. We have walked together through 7 reasons, each one like a torch lit in the dark, showing us why Virgo is a sign that even witches fear. But beyond fear, what we have really uncovered is the essence of Virgo's power. Virgo is not feared because they seek to dominate. Virgo is not feared because they crave control. Virgo is feared because they embody truth, and truth is the one thing that shadow cannot endure. Truth is steady. Truth is eternal. Truth is unyielding. And Virgo has been chosen to carry this essence in a way that is silent yet undeniable, humble yet unshakable, quiet yet stronger than any storm. When you think of Virgo, do not think only of the perfectionist. Do not think only of the one who notices every detail. Do not think only of the one who serves quietly, paras others. Think of the healer who can take chaos and turn it into order. Think of the alchemist who can take pain and turn it into wisdom. Think of the guardian who stands in silence while shadows dissolve in their presence. Think of the mountain that does not move when the winds howl, the flame that does not die when the night grows colder, the soul that does not break even when life tests them again and again. This is Virgo. This is why they are feared. And this is why they are honored, Paros, ones who truly see. If you are Virgo, I want you to know this truth tonight. Your power does not come from being perfect. It comes from being aligned. Your strength does not come from avoiding pain. It comes from transforming pain. Your aura does not shine because you demand it. It shines because you remain pure in spirit, even when the world tries to stain you. You are unyielding, you are resilient, and you are chosen Parast, task of carrying clarity where others see only confusion. That is not a burden, it is a sacred calling. And you, Virgo, are fulfilling it every single day, even when you do not realize it. For those who love a Virgo, honor them, protect them, learn from them. Do not mistake their silence for weakness, their patience for naivety, or their service for smallness. Behind those qualities is a soul with a shield of light, a heart that transforms wounds into wisdom, and a spirit that cannot be broken. To love a Virgo is to walk beside truth itself, and to be guided Paris' path of clarity and healing. And for everyone listening tonight, let this message remain in your heart. Fear is only the shadow of respect. The fear witches feel for Virgo is proof of the depth of their power. And that power, when lived with humility and service, becomes not only protection for themselves but a blessing for the entire world. Never forget, Virgo does not conquer darkness with violence. Virgo makes darkness unnecessary. They shine so brightly that the shadows cannot survive. They stand so firmly that chaos has no place. They transform so fully that pain loses its sting. That is Virgo's eternal gift, Paros universe. So as you close your eyes tonight, remember this. The truth is not always loud, but it is always present. The light is not always seen, but it is always stronger than the dark. And the Virgo soul, whether in you or beside you, is one of the purest reminders of that eternal reality. Carry this with you. Let it shape your steps, let it heal your wounds, let it awaken your courage. Because when you walk in the vibration of truth, nothing and no one can truly defeat you. And now, before you leave, let me invite you to continue this journey with us. If tonight you felt the power of Virgo, imagine what you will feel when you explore the mysteries of the other signs, the hidden truths of the Zodiac, the spiritual lessons that the cosmos is constantly whispering paras us. Stay with this channel, keep watching, because every message, every video carries another key, another revelation, another spark of awakening. So do not stop here. Continue forward. Watch the other videos of this channel, and let this path of light guide you even deeper into the mysteries of your soul. Virgo does not simply live among us. Virgo reminds us that truth cannot be broken, light cannot be defeated, and the spirit cannot be chained. And for those who walk in shadow, that is the one reality they will always fear.